Welcome to Marketing Step by Step, Session 12, Move the Free Line. The cost of creating and giving away massive value is now $0. Anything you can distribute online can now be given away essentially at no cost. So what are most businesses doing? Nothing. The old model was to give away advertisements. And that was what most businesses gave away. It used to cost a lot to give away almost anything. The internet has changed this by allowing us to distribute documents, audio, video, and many other things like software virtually free. So in the past, before the internet made it so easy to give away so many different types of things and transmit so many different types of things, if you wanted to give something away, you had to have someone stand out on the sidewalk and hand it to people that were walking by. You had to take calls from people who were interested or open up letters from people who were interested, pack up your free items, pay postage to have them shipped out, and pay for whatever you were giving away as well. This was all very costly. It actually still worked very well, giving away free reports, even now still giving away things by mail and giving away free items and samples. It's worked for a long time. It'll work for a long time in the future, but it still works. But it used to cost a lot. For example, let's say that in the past, you wanted to give away a 1-hour video, and you wanted to give it away to anyone who would call you up and request one. Well, you had to pay to run the advertisement, then you had to pay to manage the center where people took the calls, then you had to pay the people who took the calls. You had to have a computer system to type it in. You had to have someone packing and shipping these items out. And if you did it in volume, it would still cost you, $20 at least just to give away a 1-hour video on maybe CD or DVD. Well, the cost has dropped dramatically now to be able to give away an hour of video because you don't have to have someone taking the calls. You don't have to have someone entering information into a computer system by hand. You don't have to have someone packing and shipping something. You can put it all together online so that anyone that comes to your website can get access to it, and they can do all the quote-unquote work themselves, and you can even use free hosting services like YouTube. You may have to modify your video a little bit or use it in their format, but the point is that you can literally give things away that used to cost a lot of money to give away for virtually no cost. Now, this is an important development. It's important power that we now have in business, because what it allows us to do is create a lot of value and distribute it to a lot of people without it costing us a lot. Now, too many people are still caught up in this idea of not giving stuff away because it's not fair, because they want people to pay for the knowledge. They want people to not get away with something. One of my favorite stories several years ago when I started my first online business, I had a friend approach me and he said, I see that you're selling ebooks and training courses and you're making money with them. I'd like to do that myself. Will you tell me what to do? And I said, sure. It turned out that he was a real estate investor and had made himself independently wealthy investing in real estate, and he wanted to create some courses and teach it. So he was writing a book and so forth, and I said, well, set up a website and take your very best idea and put it on the website for free in the form of a report or a video or something that people can get access to, and then give it away to as many people as you can possibly give it away to in exchange for them coming and opting in for your list. And then start building a list, and you can sell products and services to them. And he said, well, I can't do that. I'm not going to give away my very best idea. And I said, well, why not? And he said, well, I wouldn't give that away to someone who I don't even know. I mean, I would only teach that to someone that paid me a lot of money. Okay, and this is where the challenge comes up, because it's not intuitive for most people to give away their very best ideas for free. It's not intuitive. All kinds of human chimp kind of psychology comes up. Emotions get triggered. We falter. We say, I just can't do that. Okay, it just doesn't feel fair to give it away. Well, this is similar to the monkey trap they use in Africa, where they cut a little hole in a tree and they carve out and hollow out the inside, and then they put a nut in the hole, and the monkey comes over and sticks its hand in there, and it feels the nut, and then it clasps its fist around the nut, and it can't pull it out, and then a hunter can walk over and just kill the monkey, throw it over his shoulder, and walk away, because the monkey is just too greedy. Okay? It's too greedy. It won't let go of the nut. And we're like that with our knowledge and with our expertise and with whatever it is that we own. We won't give something away in order to get something in return. Earl Nightingale, one of the founders of modern personal development and self-help, in his program, The Strangest Secret, he talked about how most people are like walking up to a wood stove wanting to get heat out, but they won't put any wood into the stove. So if we want to create a lot of value, if we want to attract a lot of people to us, we want to build relationships fast, and we want to use the power of the internet, we need to move the free line, and we need to give away something that is more than just an advertisement. So the new model is to give away something of real value. The highest leverage thing you can give away, I think, is content that educates your customer. And we've learned about what type of content and how to educate with it. Free reports, free videos, free webinars, free consultations are all very high perceived value. What could you create and give away? I recommend that you create and give away something that's worth at least $100. Create and give away something that's worth at least $100. So, create a set of free content, downloads, videos, webinars, other training that's worth at least $100. Then give it away to as many people as you possibly can. Now, you must get over what I call your justice mechanism in order to do this. As I mentioned there, we have all these chimp responses that come up when we hear about giving away our best stuff for free, and we resist and we won't do it. So I'm going to tell you about a little experiment that scientists have done. It's a little game that they play that reveals how our human nature can prevent us from creating success. Here's how it works. The game is called the ultimatum game. And what they do is they sit two people at a table. Let's call the first person A and the second person B. So we've got person A and person B. These are two people that have never met. They don't know each other. This is the first time that they're meeting. Then they take out $100 and they put it in front of person A, and they say, you can split this money between you and person B however you'd like. But there's a catch. Person B gets to choose whether both of you get the money or whether neither of you get any money. So typically what person A does is they take the $100 and they split it in half, and they give person B half and they keep half for themselves. This is the typical response, and person B says, yep, that sounds good. We both get to keep the money, and they each walk away $50 richer. But in some cases, person A gets a bright idea. They realize that any amount of money that they offer to person B is going to be more money than person B walked in with, and it's going to be free money to them. And so they should say yes, whatever person A decides the split should be. So person A will say, you know what, I'm going to give you $40 and I'm going to keep $60 for myself. Or I'm going to give you $30 and I'm going to keep $70 for myself. Or I'm going to give you 20 and I'm going to keep 80. Well, somewhere around the 70-30 line, okay, somewhere around person B getting half as much as person A, person B says, no, screw it, neither of us get any money, and both of them walk away empty-handed. Because if you remember, person B gets control over whether they get to keep the money the way person A divided it, or whether neither of them gets money. Now, if you think about this, this doesn't make any sense at all. Person B is sitting across the table from someone they've never met, and they're being offered free money. They can just take the money and stand up and leave. It might be $20, $30. Why do they say no, neither of us get any money? They say no because they just can't stand to see that other son of a bitch get an advantage over them. Okay? They can't stand to see someone else benefit and get more than them. So I call this the justice mechanism. We have a mechanism inside of us that won't stand to see injustice, especially when it has anything to do with us. By the way, for most human beings, justice and fairness is defined as I get my fair share or I get more than everyone else. Okay? Because it seems very just and fair when we get to have more than everyone else, but we just won't stand to get less. Okay? Really interesting insight about human behavior. In order to succeed moving the free line, and I think in business and marketing, you have to overcome the justice mechanism. You have to realize that it's going to come up, it's going to try to stop you. That's okay. It was built for a time that doesn't exist anymore. Keep going, keep doing the right thing. Another one of my favorite stories is about a restaurant owner in San Francisco that did something interesting. When you would go into the restaurant and sit down, they would bring over a glass and then a jug of wine, and they would say, drink as much as you want and tell us how many glasses you had at the end. So you come in with a date, you sit down, you take the jug of wine, you drink as much as you want, and then you tell your waiter or waitress how much wine you drank, and you get charged for the amount that you told them. So a reporter showed up and interviewed the owner of the restaurant and said, you know, you realize that people are ripping you off. They're drinking a lot more wine than they're telling you. And he says, yes, but look outside. There's a line around the block of people waiting to get in. Okay, so dumb like a fox, if you get my meaning. This guy had figured out how to overcome his justice mechanism, let his customers win, and everyone profited in the long run. So, can you create and give away something that's worth at least $100? I recommend, again, free content, downloads, videos that are worth at least $100. Now, I don't mean worth at least $100 in comparison to other content. I mean worth at least $100 worth of value to the person watching it. So, for example, if I teach you one tip that could increase the conversion on your website by 10%, and let's say I'm targeting business owners that do $100,000 a year on their website, I'm going to value that information at $10,000 a year in additional sales. Okay, so I'm talking about $100 worth of value that you could communicate, translate, and rationalize. But communicate something that's valuable, something that's good, something cool, something that feels meaty, something that feels like a lot of value to be getting. And the equation is give away more value, attract more people to your site and your list. The more value you give away, the more you attract people to your site and to your list. And there's a lesson here. In the future, the game is about who can create the most value. Who can create the most value? And what we're seeing is the more value you give away, the more people you attract. Wanted to share a little case study when I did my Guru Mastermind launch, how I moved the free line. So I had been talking about this idea of moving the free line for a few years. And I thought to myself, okay, now, do I really believe that the more you move the free line, the more response you're going to get? Is there a limit to this? And of course, I do think that there is a limit. If you give your customer everything that they need so that they never need to buy anything else from you, okay, that might be going a little overboard. You might want to give away 10% of all of the value that you could ever provide, or 10 or 20% of the really good stuff, and then, of course, save some of the other valuable stuff for later in your products and services. But I asked myself, can you give away too much? And what I did was I set out to give away $1,000 worth of value over the course of a few weeks to as many people as possible. And here's why. I was launching a high-end coaching program that was $500 to $1,000 per month, and I wanted to give a bunch of people an experience of what it would be like to get coached by me and get training that I would create to the tune of $1,000 per month. So over, I think it was 4 weeks that I did this. I created a series of trainings. I gave away software tools. I did live training webinars. I created content and reports. And I just gave folks an experience of what it would be like to be trained by me, the kind of value that you'd get. And then I went out to prospective partners, affiliate partners, and I said, let's give this stuff away to your list. And then I'm going to open up a launch. I'm going to launch the Guru Mastermind coaching program, and I'll share the money with you if the folks that you send to me sign up. Now, I had some other things I did in the background. I had a big affiliate contest with all kinds of prizes and things to align everything and really leverage. But the key piece of the equation that I was testing was, can I give away too much? Well, the result was that I had my most successful launch to date. We did a multi-million-dollar product launch right out of the gate, and it really didn't seem like I could give away too much. So I recommend that when you get started, create something that's worth at least $100 in value, that you could communicate, rationalize, translate $100 worth of real value. It might be a 10 or 20 page downloadable report. It might be a 30 to 60 minute video. It might be a webinar or an audio program. It just might be something that really has that feeling of being worth $100, and then offer it to as many people as you can. Give it away for free. Talk about it in your social media contacts and to your followers. Allow affiliate partners to give it away to their lists. Give it away to as many people as you can, and watch your business grow. So now let's do an exercise, moving the free line. You should be looking at an exercise that says move the free line at the top. As technology becomes more powerful, it becomes easier and cheaper to create and offer training, education, software, videos, webinars, downloads, and other value at almost zero financial cost to you. By creating a Freeline product that you give away, you can attract a high volume of prospective customers to your business. Create something that has a legitimate $100 value or more, then give it away in exchange for opting into your list. So the first question, what could you create and give away that would cause prospective customers to flock to you to get it? Question number 2, how could you format an educational training or video in a way that would make it worth at least $100 to your prospect? How could you format it up or package it up so that it really had the appearance of being worth $100 to your prospect? Complete this exercise, and I'll see you in the next session of Marketing Step by Step.